Jack Kerouac and the Beat Generation, a dry erase biography. Jean-Louis Lebris de Kerouac, now known as Jack Kerouac, was born in March of 1922 in Lowell, Massachusetts, to French-Canadian parents. In high school, he was a star athlete and received a football scholarship at Columbia University after his high school career. He soon broke one of his legs, which seriously hindered his potential football career, and he began to write sports articles for the student newspaper. He later dropped out of the university and he lived for a while in New York's Upper West Side with his then-girlfriend Eddie Parker. In 1943, he joined the U.S. Navy and served 8 days of active duty before arriving on the sick list. He was honorably discharged on psychiatric grounds, stating he was of indifferent character with a diagnosis of schizoid personality. Kerouac wrote his first novel, The Sea is My Brother, in 1942 during his work as U.S. Merchant Marine. In 1944, he was arrested as a material witness in the murder of David Cameron, who had been pursuing Jack's good friend Lucien Carr. Allegedly, Kerouac helped his friend dump the body of the then-deceased stalker into the Hudson River. Kerouac married his girlfriend then because they were completely in love. Or rather, he did so in order for her parents to pay his bail. His annulment came only a few years later. Kerouac began to write drafts tentatively titled The Beat Generation and Gone on the Road. He completed the first version, now titled On the Road, in 3 weeks, and the final draft was written in only 20 days. He was heavily abusing Benzedrine, cigarettes, and coffee at the time. Kerouac was known to take long strips of tracing paper wide enough for a typewriter and tape them together into 120-foot-long scrolls. He typed on this continuously without the interruption of reloading pages. This manuscript contained no chapter or paragraph breaks at all, and was much more explicit than the version that was published. Publishers mostly rejected On the Road because of its experimental writing style and its sympathetic tone towards minorities and marginalized social groups. There was also the controversial imagery of drug abuse and homosexual behavior. In 1969, Kerouac died from intoxication as it surfaced that he had a severe drinking problem for most of his life. Jack was one of the most prominent writers in the Beat Generation, which prides itself on spontaneity and improvisation. Many beat writers were heavily influenced by jazz music and the culture it was surrounded by in the 40s and 50s. Kerouac's work also had a huge impact on upcoming rock musicians of the time, such as the Beatles, Bob Dylan, The Doors, Jim Morrison, and many more. Finally, he was awarded a posthumous honorary degree from his hometown University of Massachusetts Lowell.